Okay. Okay. So thank you so much for volunteering to have a reading today and to share it everywhere. So I will just give you a little information about how it works for me, because every intuitive is different. So for me, when someone gives permission, then I'll get like a download of information, and it's kind of like the universe says, "Ooh, translator, quick, tell her this." So I'll just blurb out whatever comes first. At any point, you can ask questions, ask for more clarity, tell me you have no idea what I'm talking about, whatever comes up for you.
Perfect.
I don't tell the future, too many moving parts, and we all have free will. For me, it's kind of like a spider web, from me to you to your life. So I'll get information about circumstances and people, but they didn't give me permission, so I try not to spy too much. If I do mediumship, so if somebody comes through, I will let you know. And I also do angel introductions. So if one comes in, I will also let you know. And I do well-being intuition. So it's less about medical jargon and more about where you hold blocks of energy in your body. But if you need minerals or vitamins, it all comes through taste for me. And yes, and as I do readings, even though we're recording this now, but always you can record or take notes, because I do not remember it within like a couple of hours. It's not my message, it goes right out.
Perfect.
Okay. And I tend to close my eyes a lot. I'm tuning in, not tuning out.
Perfect.
Okay. So actually, just before we came on, when I was sitting quietly for a minute, what came through was this feeling of, okay, so the words contribution came really clearly. And there's going to be, it feels like they're calling you for a new definition of contribution for yourself. It feels like like you have a new baby, and well, not new, she's bigger now, but still you're a new mom. And so there was this adjustment period, but also it's what I find again and again is that when we have kids, it's suddenly it's not just our pull, it's the combination of the two. Oh, I like that. It's like they're pulling, it's like we used to have a 1-horse sleigh and now we have 2. So they will often pull us even farther along our track than we would be able to do on our own. And for the message that comes through clearly, which was for me too, is that she's way ahead of you.
That's clear.
and that it's kind of like, okay, sweetheart, you're going to be on the fast track, because she needs you to be 1 or 2 steps behind her, not 10. We will never surpass them, because they are who we, I got goosebumps. They are who we started to create the world for anyways. Do you know what I mean? In this time of kind of upheaval and chaos, where the world is figuring out our next step in this huge great awakening that we're having, we are some of the ones that were called to get out the bricks for the new road. Our kids, yours and mine, are going to be the ones that lay the bricks.
Yeah.
Their kids are going to be the ones to walk on the road. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
And this new calling for contribution is with that idea, that paradigm in the background. It's not that do you know what I mean? It's like holding that as part of the candle that lights the way.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it, but it's like you're going to be up for a review of your intention of contribution, not necessarily how it looks on the outside, but certainly the intention and the force behind it, the energy behind it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. And with this new clarity or this new intention, first I feel like there's clarity, then there's going to be like this creation of a new intention, is going to be a frequency that allows you for new clients. It's like your clients will be up leveling at the same time. Like who shows up in front of you will be completely different in 6 months than it is today.
Right.
Because they're going to feel that same frequency of they want to resonate on the same level.
Right.
You're going to be 1 or 2 steps behind your daughter, but you're going to be 2 to 5 steps ahead of your clients.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like
Yep.
she's pulling you, you're pulling them, we're all getting pulled forward.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's not holding, holding the intention for your clients is not just about your clients, but
Right.
it's who you end up being in the holding of that space for
Intention.
them. Yeah. It's like once you create this intention, it's like who you are in the world in general is that. So it's not just about work, it's about contribution in general and who you are as a light in the world.
Mm.
And they want to emphasize that you don't have to do anything outside of work to be that contribution. Simply holding that energy is it. You don't have to do anything else. Like, because I feel like you're going to want to like, oh, I have to like hold a sign somewhere, or I have to, they're like, no, just be that. And that is more than enough. Does that make sense? I got like goosebumps everywhere. I'm like, oh my, they like so want to emphasize that.
Yeah,
So
that
like tell
makes
her
sense.
she doesn't have to have a huge to-do list. This is not about doing stuff. It's simply about holding the intention of what's next. And don't be tied to it, because in a year or just under, it's going to be, you're going to change it again.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like she will continue to pull you forward. The more she can express who she truly is, the more she will pull you forward, and the whole thing goes again.
Right. I'm ever evolving with her.
That's the thing, is that she came here to help, like our kids come to help us evolve.
Yeah. I feel that
Yeah.
deeply. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like my daughter teaches me the wild feminine. Like she is so um divine, like she just has no issues about being feminine and strong at the same time. And my son is so here to teach me compassion. Like, yeah. So they're, as they grow, that change, like it changed over the years, and there were challenges and there were, whatever,
Of
like
course. Yeah.
parents. But yeah, she is here to pull you along.
Yeah. It's funny, just even in the last little bit, we've been doing more where I'm separating a little bit, and she is just like blooming. It's like it's before my, all of a sudden she's walking 20 feet away from me and interacting with other people without me needing to be there. And
Yeah.
yeah, I can see her kind of blossoming into herself.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. And so the other thing that comes up is they want me to share. I have I also do angel introduction. So one that shows up clearly as just before we started recording was, her name is Glenelda, Glenelda. Glenelda. I like that. Like a glen, like a forest is what that's what I get. Like I can smell, like, when the sunshine is on grass and it's like warm dirt and warm grass, and it just has that wonderful, almost as good as a baby smell.
Yes.
That's what I smell. And she hangs out. Okay, so everything's backward when we record, but so the side with your word on your shirt.
My left side.
Left side. So she hangs out on your left more than the right. And she is this, she has like almost Pippi Longstocking color hair, like that bright red.
Yeah.
And it's long, and kind of like loose ringlets, and a big ponytail at the back. And it comes like almost down to her waist. And she's got like green eyes, and almost like a emerald green eyes. And she has on this beautiful, like moss colored, I want to say romper, but it's like overalls, but a dress.
Hmm.
And her wings have like bronze at the tip. They're like a creamy satin color with bronze, like, but almost like shimmer iridescent-y, like not a
Mm.
solid bronze, but more like you can almost see through it.
See through it. Mm.
Yeah. Yes. And when I ask what she's about, um, I get this playfulness.
Mm.
She's in charge of play, joy, creation.
Mm.
And she's the one that will help keep you grounded.
Mm.
This connection to the earth, connection to nature, which is she's like, the only place to create is from nature. The only place to create is from a grounded space, a place of being grounded. So creation could be artistic, it could be business, it could be family. It's like anything where your imagination, or where you have to, where something is going to bloom out of nothing.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like where something wasn't before and you want something, that's creation.
Right.
So she's like, don't be limited to what we think of as creation, as far as like, oh, it needs to be artistic or it needs to be whatever. It could be an emotion. It could be anything. I like that. Anything that wasn't there before that you want to bloom.
Mm.
Oh, I like that. Okay. So is there anything that you would like to ask? And she smells like vanilla. Like
That's my
around her
favorite.
smells like the warm grass, but if you get up close to her, it smells like vanilla.
That's awesome. Um, well, I actually just took a new contract aside from my practice. Well, I should say on top of my practice. Um, so I had created a program and I launched it and it flopped. It went nowhere.
It didn't
And
flop. You just didn't have the right vibration for people to. It was your intention behind. It was like you created it before you were ready. Oh, I like that. There was something.
yeah,
It's like you created it out of the future, but you weren't up to speed with it yet. Is the only reason that it got crickets. It
right.
had nothing to do with the program. It was just that you had, it's like you foresaw it in the future, but then you didn't catch up to the future. Does that make sense at all?
Yes. It's like I
That's
wasn't ready for it yet.
it's very tied to the new intention.
Okay.
It's like it was
Because
already in the land of the new intention, but you weren't.
yes. Well, and then I end up getting this offer for this contract that is so the
What it
program
is.
that I created was creating community, and this is to create community
Oh, no wonder Glenelda showed
programs.
up.
So
Creation.
I have to go and I'll be working for a local church, creating community outreach programs that will combat loneliness in the community.
Oh, nice.
So it feels like it came in like a different form
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. You are also it feels like the people you wanted originally for your program, you weren't vibrating enough ahead of them to lure them in, to have it be appealing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas the church is far enough behind you that it's a perfect match.
Right.
It won't be for long because you're going to set a new intention. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not that it's not like anything will happen to the contract or anything. It's just that then you will be in a vibration for your program to work elsewhere when you're ready for it.
Right. It's almost like this is the stepping stone to the
Yeah.
next phase.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I guess the only question I have is what I can do to best support Lux.
You're doing it. They're like, what else do you want to do? Like Yeah. Just keep, as she gets older, you'll be able to do more kind of like intuitive tools with her. Like having a language around her intuition. How does that feel? Stuff like that. But for now, it's really just about totally accepting whatever, like allowing her to choose within boundaries, because she's still a human kid. And and giving her the autonomy to choose what she feels is best.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep, definitely.
Like,
we work
I'm
on
not
that
going to give you,
lot.
yeah, it's like, I'm not going to give you option for ice cream for breakfast, but out of these
Not
two,
every day anyway. She'd
exactly.
ask for it.
Out of these two options, what would you like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other question I have is, after I had Lux, I've noticed that I've noticed a different opening for myself in how I work with clients. So I started to feel more than I did before.
She's pulling you forward.
Yeah. Okay. That's that piece.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is new and different. I've never done this before.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny because when I had my kids, I never even noticed until you said that. It just popped in, was I didn't cry before I had kids. I just was not somebody who got emotional. I have not stopped since I had kids.
Yeah.
There's just, I'm more in tune with the truth. I see
I like
it
that.
more clearly. For me, tears are the truth often. I rarely cry because I'm upset. It's more like something strikes a chord.
Yeah.
And that's like the truth. Like, I've hit truth with a capital T somewhere. And that's where, my kids are, and I'm sure that that's them pulling me forward.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
I'm so grateful. I think I really needed that.
Awesome. I'm glad we could get on this morning then.
Me too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your flexibility.
Oh, yeah.